Welcome to Our View, the podcast, where we're changing the conversation about disability one story at a time. Here at Our View, we're all about education, awareness, and shifting perspectives. With each episode, we dive into honest, meaningful conversations with individuals from across the disabled community, amplifying voices, sharing lived experiences, and challenging the way society sees disability. Because disability isn't a limitation, it's a part of the human experience. So pull up a seat and join us as we broaden the view and bring real, powerful stories into focus.
All
This is
right.
Our View.
I would like to welcome everyone back to a new episode of Our View, the podcast where we aim to educate, raise awareness, and change the tone of conversation about disabilities. I'm happy to welcome my guests today, Bella and Roselma. Thank you, Bella and Roselma, for joining me for this conversation. I'm happy to have you on as guests, and I'm excited to hear your story, Bella. To get started, can you tell us about yourself, Bella? Who you are, what you like to do for fun, um, and all those cool things. I've heard some things, so I'm excited for you to share with everybody else what some of the fun stuff that you like to do.
Stella. I'm 22 years old. I have two older sisters, and I'm an auntie to my sister's baby, Tyler.
Yeah. What else?
I have a boyfriend named Will. We've been dating for 7 years.
And what else?
And things that I like to do for fun is watching movies, date nights with my boyfriend, playing sports like gymnastics, swim, softball, and surfing, and watch musical theater.
Awesome. That is fantastic. I love that you mentioned that you're an auntie. That is really great. It's I'm an uncle. I don't have any children, but I'm an uncle and it's one of my favorite things. So I like that you mentioned that. And all the other things that you'd like to do, you mentioned that you swim. And I shared with you that I like to swim as well. It's so relaxing and um, just allows me to move around in such a free way. Do you have do you have a favorite swim style that you like to do? I know you said before we started recording, you said you were swimming for the Special Olympics. So do you have a special style that you like to swim?
Rogue.
Oh, the backstroke.
What
Really?
what are you swimming? What are you competing tomorrow? Backstroke and what else?
And freestyle and
Oh,
relays.
oh wow. You doing it all. That's great. I never got into it competitively or with the Special Olympics or anything, but I just like to
Uh-huh.
swim for fun. Like I said, it helps my muscles feel better. So that's really
Yeah.
awesome that you're involved in that. And did you also say you like musical theater? Awesome. One of my favorite things too. I'm planning to go to New York sometime this summer to see a few
Well, you're
shows.
lucky. You're kind of right there.
Yes, yeah, yeah. I can
Yeah.
be in New York in on a good day in 2 hours.
Is that by car or by train?
By both, either one. Yeah. The train can be a
Oh,
little
really?
longer. Yeah, the train can be a little longer depending on if you're on a local train that stops at, 20 stops along the way. But
Right, right.
yeah, yeah. But by car I can be there in about 2 hours if, no traffic, which is
Never.
that never happens.
Exactly.
Yes.
New York.
And I was like 21 years old. I went to New York for musicals.
Oh, nice. Which one did you see?
The Lion King, and my personal favorite, Six, the musical.
I have not. I've seen The Lion King.
Yes.
I saw that quite a few years ago, but it was so good. It was so impressive. I really loved that. And Six the musical, I haven't seen that yet. That might be on my list when I go this summer, so I'll have to check out some more things about. I don't know much about it, so I have to.
I think, well, instead of having like a big party for her 21, she decided she wanted to do something. So we actually had a long weekend in New York, and we went to go see Lion King and Six. Did we see something else or just those two?
Just those two.
Just those two? But I think we've seen Six 5 or 6 times.
Oh, wow.
And I think through the years we've seen Lion King, I think three or 4 times.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's awesome.
Yeah. So we, we go as often as we can, and
Hmm.
we're lucky in Louisville that they have a really fantastic kind of theater district, so we get to
Hmm.
see quite a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. I
Yeah.
it's funny when you said you've seen it 5 or 6 times. That's that's really great. It's when you find something
Yeah.
you like and you'll go see it over and over again. I
And we're kind of lucky too, because we don't only have the option of seeing musicals in town, but we're under 2 hours to Indianapolis. We're under an hour and a half to Cincinnati. We are 4 hours to St. Louis. We're 2 hours to Nashville or Knoxville. So we go to all those places
Mhm.
to go and see musical theater.
But yeah, Bella, thank you for sharing all of that information about yourself and what you like to do. Can you share with us a little bit about what Down syndrome is and just to explain it to our listeners who may not be familiar?
What is it? Well, can she explain what Down syndrome is to her?
Yes, absolutely.
It's being a little different, having lots of friends in a community.
That's what it means to her.
Absolutely.
Um, um,
Love it.
we don't do labels in our family.
Hmm.
So to her, she's just like, let me have a little background. So she has 2 older sisters. We did not even actually confirm to the girls that she had Down syndrome until they asked us when they were in junior high school. So she actually grew up just as a regular sister,
Hmm.
and the reasoning behind that for us was that I had seen siblings and things with siblings of other kids who had special needs, and I thought I don't want them to treat her like she's anything other than one of their siblings,
Hmm.
because I always thought that typical siblings always kind of coddled them a little bit, and we didn't want that. We wanted her to be able to fight with her sisters, and kind of have her own views, and not have everybody kind of give in to anything for her. So she just grew up as like a regular sister, and so we kind of live our life like that. It's not really anything we
Hmm.
think, we really think about. So even when she was in school, up until she was about in 5th grade, she was in general classes until I didn't know how to help her with the math because it was all that new math and I had no idea how to do it. So
Does anybody know how to do that new math?
so I couldn't figure out how to explain it to her because I had no idea what was going on.
Oh, wow.
So
That's,
so
yeah.
then she kind of went into mixed classes then, and then through junior high and high school it was the same way. She kind of had general ed classes and also kind of a mixture, um, going into small group, and she actually graduated with a diploma.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so what it means to us in our family is that sometimes things are just a little harder, and maybe you just have to try, you have to work at it a little more, is
Absolutely.
basically is
Yeah.
basically all that it means in our family. It doesn't really impact us a lot, and we're really lucky because
Hmm.
um Bella's actually quite, like high functioning.
Hmm.
So like we don't have congenital health problems. We don't, we don't have like any dual diagnosis of any other issues.
Hmm.
So we're actually really have been lucky with all of that. And we just know that, we try a little harder, we take a little more time to do some things,
Hmm.
and that kind of stuff. So she found it a little difficult. Um, when I asked her that today, what Down syndrome was, because she really doesn't,
Hmm.
affect us.
And the way, Bella, the way you explained it was perfect because and and Roselma, with you sharing, your family, I can totally relate to that. I was born with my disability, and I have an older sister who is just about 2 years older than me.
Mhm.
And so we grew up in the same house at the same time, going to the same schools and
Mhm.
everything. And my nobody fought with me like my sister.
Mhm.
And yet nobody protected me like my sister protects me. So it's great that you explained it the way that you did. Yeah, it really is great, the way that you both explained it, because it really, that helps make a difference for, living life, and just, realizing
Mhm.
that things have to be different sometimes, but that's
Mhm.
okay. You can still
Mhm.
do things. And
Mhm.
Bella, you're doing, so many so many things. You're so busy. It's
Well, I think the good thing about that is because also like her older siblings would never, like if she was having if something was challenging to Bella, her older siblings would never just run up to her and do it for her.
Hmm.
We always tried to have her do everything for herself. And
Right.
I can see now how that's transferred as she's an adult, because she's never been afraid to try anything, because she's never been kind of treated like, oh, there's certain things you can't do. Well, we can do everything, we can try everything, right? So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that's how we've lived it. And if you try it, you don't like it, okay, you don't like it. If you try it and it's difficult, then you just try a little harder,
Hmm.
that kind of stuff. But you're never afraid to try anything. So I think that was one of the reasons we did it. We didn't want her two older sisters because they're a bit older. My middle daughter's 7 years older, and no, no, my oldest daughter's 7 years older, and then my younger daughter is what? You're 22, and Elizabeth's 28. Yeah, so the other one's 6 years older.
Hmm.
So, yeah, so I never wanted that kind of thing where they thought, oh, she's got this, so we have to do things for her. I never wanted
Right.
anybody to do things for her,
Hmm.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, and as you said, it translates now into
Hmm.
Bella, you being an adult and doing things, and
Hmm.
figuring things out. And that
Hmm.
is that's something, again, I can strongly relate to this to
Hmm.
your story, Bella, because my parents were the same way. And now I live on my own. Like I said, I drive a car, and just
Hmm.
it's really, in that upbringing and the community of people that were around to, offer that support, to me and my family, which it sounds like you all have the same,
Hmm.
same type of support there going on for you, which is, always great.
Hmm.
And so I wanted to, ask Bella, I wanted to ask you about the documentary Free to Be Me, where you talk about, you're in the film, and you talk about dance and how dance has been a good experience for you. So can you talk about, what an impact dance has had on you in your life?
She's a little nervous, so she has notes.
Oh, that's fine. That's okay.
Being a dancer is my passion since I was like 6. It taught me how to do dance and do ballet. It taught me how to be on stage and give me a chance to be in one of the shows.
What else? What else did you like about being in dance?
I felt really grateful as a ballerina.
That's great. Was ballet your favorite style of dance?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I love the documentary Free to Be Me. It was great. It was really good to see. I encourage everybody who's listening to check that out. Free to watch. But
Yes.
yes. So thank you for sharing that. Uh I know dance is very important and music, is important for a lot of people. And, music and dance have gotten a lot of people through, some tough times in life. And just, being able to be free and feel graceful and all of those things while you're, just letting loose and dancing. That's, really cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I thought it was great too because it kind of like very subtly I would notice too that it kind of gave her structure
Hmm.
and like self-discipline so that when she does have an opportunity in a very kind of subtle and um there's a word I'm trying to, in a very kind of supported and safe environment, gave
Hmm.
her, self-discipline and structure and learning these things that she kind of kept in the back of her head so that when she did get jobs with, say, with a play or taping a show here and there, um, she knew what it was supposed to be to like hit your mark
Hmm.
and do, and all of that kind of started from her dance classes because
Yeah.
you know, oh, there's a tape on the ground. That's where I'm supposed to go. Or, I'm supposed to face this way. And so when she would get direction like that on stage, then she knew that that's what she needed to do kind of innately because she had been trained that way from the time she was 6 years old.
I'm so glad you brought that up because I never would have related the two together.
Yeah,
Like I
right?
never would
Because
have.
like music
Yeah.
classes and dance classes, they teach you what they need to teach you, whether it's like to play an instrument, to read music, to do ballet, and all the different steps. But it
Hmm.
also teaches you things that apply to like the rest of your life, like how it kind of affects your brain and teaches you timing and teaches
Right.
you this is how you take direction, but all of that kind of transfers right
Hmm.
into different areas of life.
Yeah, and until you started talking about it, I never thought of it that way, but it's so true because like you said, on a dance stage, you have marks that you have to hit, and like you said, there's a piece of tape,
Yeah,
or something like that. And then
right,
when you're
right,
doing something on stage for a show, a play or
right,
something, or a TV show, a commercial or something, you have
right.
your marks that you have to hit. That's,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
And
really
yeah, and
cool.
it even applies like when you're in school, when when
Hmm.
you get directions from your teacher, oh, you have to go right there. Okay, so we go right there, right? Or you're
Yeah.
having to do something in math. Well, okay, but you've heard that in your head when you're doing like a ballet step. So,
Hmm.
you do like, a lot of times musicians are really good mathematicians because they learn fractions innately from the music that they're reading, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's so cool that you brought that up. I'm really glad you did because
Yeah.
like I said, I never thought of it, and it makes complete sense.
Well, and
So,
I think that's why it's so important for all children, whether it's children with or typical children, children with different abilities to be able to do like dance and music, because it applies to school, it applies to life, it applies to so many other things, whether they realize it or not.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. And yeah, so thank you for sharing that, Bella, about your dance experience. And now I'm shifting a little bit because in addition to dancing and swimming and all of the other uh, fun things that you do, you are an aspiring model and entertainer. So, can you share with us what this experience has been like for you? And if you've come up against any challenges while becoming, modeling or acting, and how did you handle those challenges?
I had fun on modeling sets, like meeting new friends. I like being in front of the camera. It's fun to walk in a show and seeing the crowd.
Yes, yes. So you like being in front of the camera. I'm the complete opposite. I don't.
Me either.
I don't.
Yeah.
But yet I host a podcast that has a video component, so I'm in front of the camera a lot. So, but I get nervous, and it makes me nervous like every time, and I'm well over 100 episodes into this podcast.
Right.
But so that's great. I'm glad that you are that you're into this entertaining and modeling. It's good to see uh people, and especially you're 22 years old, so to be that young into modeling and acting and all the things that you do is just really really cool. So thank you for sharing that with us, Bella.
What else do you like? You can just talk. Just talk like normal. It doesn't have to come from your nose.
Yeah, yeah, you can just
Yeah,
talk.
you
It's
can
just
just
me.
talk.
Yeah, it's just me.
Yeah. Yeah. She's a little shy, I think, at the moment, but
Yeah,
not
that's fine.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's good. If you think of something else and you want to tell us, you just tell me. All right.
Find anything hard when you're on set?
No, I just had some fun.
It's just fun. Yeah, for her, it's just fun, I think.
And you know what though? That's when you have the best time.
Yeah,
When you don't look at it as work. It's not a job, it's not work. That's like with this podcast. I have so much fun doing it. It's
yeah.
not, it's not work. I'm meeting great people like yourself, and hearing stories and sharing experiences, and it's just when you're having fun, it doesn't seem like work. So that's
I
the
think
best way to do it.
for her it is. It's for her, it's just fun.
Hmm.
If I had to be in front of a camera and try and, do what she does, I couldn't. It would be like pulling my teeth out, I think. You know,
Right.
I couldn't sit there and pose and think about, doing all these different poses. I couldn't do it. And she has an uncanny memory for choreography and for like memorizing lines. So if I had to do that, I couldn't do it. I couldn't sit and memorize lines. But she has no problems with it because she just thinks it's fun.
And I'm with you on that. I could not memorize anything. I I write the questions out for these podcast episodes, and I forget what I wrote sometimes.
Yeah,
So,
I couldn't sit there and memorize lines, and she doesn't find it hard. I think she just does it, and then she just works at it until she knows it all.
hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
don't
that's
have
why
that.
I don't have that. She thinks that's fun.
Hmm.
So Yeah. So she's good at it. I couldn't.
Yeah,
There's just no
I
chance.
yeah, like I said, I write the questions out to all these podcast episodes and I
Yeah.
always look at them beforehand and I'm like, I don't even remember writing some of these questions, but it's so it's
Yeah.
good that you find it fun, Bella. It's that's important that you enjoy what you do, and that will get you really far in that space. So thank you for sharing. And so you shared what you liked most about it. So do you have any words of advice or encouragement that you can give to others who are looking to get into the field of modeling and entertainment?
Good poses.
Have good poses. And what else? Just to work hard,
Work hard, and be nice to people.
be nice to people. That's a big thing.
That's a really big thing, and I think
Hmm.
what you said that you like the most is having fun. I think
Hmm.
that's I think those are all great words of advice that you can give to others who are looking to model and or to be actors, actresses. But being nice to people, I think that's most important and definitely worth
Hmm.
sharing with other people. So thank you for that. And that is a message not just for those who are looking to be models and actors and actresses. That's a message for everybody to just be
Right.
nice to people.
Right.
I think that's something that we can all agree with on that.
Yeah.
And to have fun, to have more fun, just to and having good poses. I like that one. That's a really good one.
Yeah. You have to
Yeah.
have good poses. Yeah. I think when she goes to set, it's all the very first thing is she's nice to everybody.
Hmm.
Um, and that's all, that's always important, whether it's, and they all remember her because she was nice and good to work with on set. So she has, photographers and makeup artists and stuff that remember her and always, work with her because um, they know that that she's good on set and she's pleasant to work with. So that's always important.
Yes, that is so true. And Bella, I don't know what the camera just did there. It just kind of zoomed in
I
on
know
you.
it's been doing that. I,
I saw your reaction to
yeah,
it. I was like, wow, it just did that for no reason.
yeah, yeah. Yes,
But
and to speak to like the challenges of it, I
mhm,
think the main challenge, if we really want to speak to it, the main challenge would be um, giving people with disabilities more opportunities. That's the challenge,
yes.
because it's really quite difficult to um, even get booked for something. But it's amazing because once Bella does get booked, they love her. They love having her on a shoot. They love having her on in whatever project that she's been booked for. But the real challenge is having companies be more open to the idea of hiring and booking more people with disabilities. That's the real challenge.
Yes, that is. It's I say it often, we've come a long way, but there's a long way to go.
Right. Right.
It is getting a little bit better, but there's still a lot more work to be done and um, recognizing the value in hiring people with the lived experience of having a disability and
Mhm.
um, because there's work that people we can do it. We can do it. Actual me as a wheelchair user, I can actually, if needed, could play an actor that's in a wheelchair because I use a
Right.
wheelchair every day. You don't have to get someone else to play that role. You can actually hire someone who actually lives that experience to be that actor in that scene or that film, that stage play or whatever.
Mhm.
So, yeah, just having the opportunities become more available for those of us with disabilities is a real challenge. And you do have the talent agencies now, like ZBD, that are, representing people with disabilities, and just, it's really, really great to see that, we're getting out there more as people with disabilities and being hired for more things, and just, uh, just being recognized for the work that we're doing. So it's great to see, and really excited to see where you're headed, Bella, and all the great things that you're going to be doing, and seeing you on TV or in the movies and whatever it is wherever you see yourself. And
And we're trying to put her out there. I'll tell you a little story from when she was little. And she was little enough that she was still in a high chair. She was having breakfast and she was watching TV, and there used to be this show called Fresh Beat Band, and it was a group of teenagers, and they were performing on stage, and it was on Disney, I think, or something. And she looked up and she looked at the TV, and in her own words, she pointed to the TV and she said, "Bella, do that."
oh
So I
wow.
thought, and I think she was like 3 or 4.
Oh
She may have been,
wow.
yeah, she was really small.
Wow.
And she looked at the TV and she had yeah, her words were, "Bella, do that."
Wow. So you knew what you wanted to do from a long time ago, Bella. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
right, right. And that was the only reason I actually started putting her in things, because we
Hmm.
realized, like, when we would take her to a show or we would take her to like Cirque du Soleil or whatever, and she was like 2 years old, she would like get out of her seat and try to run towards the stage.
You've always wanted to be on stage. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, we're trying to get out there and hopefully, try and open some doors, and how we do it, I'm not quite sure. Hopefully we can have just, everybody have more opportunities. That's what I would
Yeah.
like to see, so.
Yeah. And I think, that's why I like sharing these stories on the podcast, because you never know who might be listening. Um, somebody might know someone, and just want to reach out and connect with you, and
Yeah.
that could be, the big break that you that you're looking for. And it's just keep doing what you're doing, Bella. It's really great to hear all of the things that you're doing, from the swimming and the modeling and acting and all of that. Just keep it up. And it was great to talk with you. And Roselma, great to talk with you as well.
We have in Bella's bio that she surfs,
Hmm.
and it's actually a group called A Walk on Water. And I'm mentioning this only because you are in the location that you're in. Every year, and this year it's always the second Friday and Saturday in June, A Walk on Water, which is a California-based nonprofit. They actually teach children and adults with disabilities, any type of disabilities, how to surf. They are in Spring Lake, New Jersey, every June, the second Friday and Saturday. And anybody is welcome to get on the wait list and register and all of that.
Thank you for letting me know. I won't be doing it, but I will pass that information along, and I will show up and see what they do, because I've heard of them, but that's good to know
Yep.
that they are in New Jersey in
Yeah,
June. So
they
that's
go all over the country. This weekend, I think, is the opening weekend in Malibu in California, which is where we started because we're actually from California.
oh, nice.
So Bella's been surfing with them for, oh gosh, this will be 10 years.
Wow.
But they go all around the country. Spring Lake is one of the ones we usually do. We won't be able to do it this year because we're out of town. But for anybody out there in the area, or even just look on their website called A Walk on Water from wherever you're hearing the podcast, they have they're in Montauk. They'll be in Montauk in September, which is on Long Island.
Yeah.
They're also in Rockaway in September, which is right there in New York. And
Wow.
so they do a bunch of events all over the country during surf season, and we try and make a few of them wherever they are. But yeah, check them out. It's called A Walk on Water. You can register with them and go and surf, and they're fantastic. I have seen them teach kids or take kids out on a surfboard who are kids, adults, whatever, who are blind, who are in wheelchairs, who have a Down syndrome, they've worked with kids like who are on the spectrum who don't want to go in the water, and an instructor will sit there with them on the edge of the water for 2 hours before they decide they're brave enough to get on a board. It's an amazing group. So anybody who would like to, all of it is free. It's like a day out for the whole family.
Mhm.
So anybody who's interested or who wants to go check out surfing or who even maybe just wants to go and watch,
Yeah.
there you can go out there for the day, register, volunteer, all of those good things. But it's a fantastic day out for the whole family, and they provide everything: wetsuits,
Wow.
surfboards. Yeah,
Wow.
so check it out.
Thank you for mentioning that. I do
Yep.
remember hearing about them, but
Mhm.
it's nice to know they'll be that they're in New Jersey.
Yeah,
I'll definitely check that out. But
yeah.
yeah. So Bella, thank you for taking the time to talk with me today. I really enjoyed our conversation, and I'm excited for everyone to hear your story and learn all about what you're doing. And it was nice to meet you both. And I will stay in touch with you soon.
Thank you. It was nice to meet you too.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Our View, the podcast, where we amplify the voices and stories of those in the disabled community, one conversation at a time. If this story moved you, taught you something new, or sparked a different perspective, we'd love to hear from you. Write a review of the podcast on Apple Podcasts and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. Follow us on all social media platforms at Our View for Life 25. At Our View, we believe that disability is not a limitation. It is a powerful part of the human experience. So until next time, keep listening, keep learning, and keep seeing the world through our view.